Hi, my name is Marty Richardson from ChefMartyRich.com. Welcome back to our daily tip series. Today I am wrapping up our discussion of Thanksgiving side dishes with mashed potatoes, everyone's favorite. Our favorite recipe is russet potatoes mashed with butter and milk. Very simple, very straightforward. You can change up the potato. You could use a Red Bliss or maybe a Yukon Gold might be an interesting change. Skins on, skin off. I mean, that's up to you. If I mash the potatoes with the skin on from my dad, forget about it. So we use butter. You could use olive oil. We use milk. You could use sour cream or heavy cream or half and half, or yogurt maybe if it's looking for a less fatty substitute. Flavorings, you could garlic mashed potatoes are very popular, or wasabi maybe, or chipotle, nice and spicy. Or you can mash it with all different other kinds of vegetables like celery root or parsnips or carrots or sweet potatoes even. So there's so many different kinds of mashed potatoes. I'm not going to get into the details of each particular recipe. Mashing, though, is another very important part. They can be, well, first, start your potatoes in cold water, then bring them up to a boil and simmer until they're soft. I like to cut them in larger chunks so that they don't get soggy. I like a nice, dry, fluffy mashed potato. Now, back to mashing. I actually mash with a potato masher. I know it's old-fashioned, but that's a habit. You could use a potato ricer, which looks like a great big garlic press, and you just squeeze the potatoes through this through the masher, and all the potato comes out the other side. Or one of the fluffiest mashed potatoes you're going to get is made with a food mill. Food mill is kind of conical in shape and has a crank at the top, and it forces all the cooked potato down through these holes and gives you mashed potatoes really light and fluffy. Don't use a food processor, okay? The more that you beat the potatoes, the gummier they get. And if you've had gummy mashed potatoes, you know what I mean. A little bit too much texture. Okay, now onto the vegetables. You got steamed, roasted, mashed, casseroles. You could do soup. You can do salad. The only thing that I would like to remind you of is pre-party planning prevents panic. Okay, pull out your recipes early, check them and make note of how things are prepared, method of preparation, whether these are going into the oven or whether they can be cooked on the stove, what can be done ahead. Check your colors, your textures. You don't want 3 different mashed items, for instance, or all the vegetables are steamed, or you get what I mean. Another tip for you with side dishes is to make sure that you pull all your serving dishes out ahead of time and put a little note in the bottom of each one what all these dishes are for. The last 30 minutes of of preparation before Thanksgiving dinner are hectic. You want to be able to take things that are finished off the stove, put it in the serving container and out to the table so that your kitchen stays uncluttered, but it's dish after dish after dish so things don't get cold. Okay. Now, one other thing that I would suggest you do if you have room, and this is again back to pre-party planning, make dinner rolls. This is really easy. You can put the dough ahead, mix the dough up the day before, form the rolls. Only takes a couple of minutes to form the rolls. They proof, and there's no better proofing environment than a Thanksgiving kitchen with all the heat and the steam from all these things going on the stove and everything else. It takes a good over an hour for these rolls to proof, but if you've got that time in the last, or the oven space in that last 30 minutes, I suggest you do dinner rolls, because once you pull them out and all the other dishes are on the table, it's going to steal the show. So nothing says home like fresh baked bread. So that's pretty much Thanksgiving. Now I'm going to hop to on the last video to desserts, and we're going to wrap this up. And I hope you've done your shopping, because there's no more time left. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.